Здравствуйте, мое имя Юля, и я из Украины.
Zdravo, ja sam Philipp i dolazim od Makedonije.
Salut, je m'appelle Julie et je suis française.
Ciao, sono Giulia, vengo dall'Italia.
Всем привет, меня зовут Alexander и я из Украины.
Hej, jestem Asia i jestem z Polski.
Sono Giambattista e sono italiano.
Servus, ich bin Philipp aus Deutschland.
My first idea was definitely just to go abroad. I just knew I want to go abroad. I didn't know what or where or why. I just knew I wanted to go abroad.
I heard about Erasmus from my university in Padova.
The thing is that I always wanted to go abroad, to study abroad and to travel abroad and everything. So when I went to the uni, like a friend of mine had done it already and she told me about it. I was like, okay, that's a great opportunity because you can go abroad, meet people, learn a new language and so on.
I think I always heard about Erasmus from friends or family.
Actually, like our coordinator, he had a presentation in a university and I just joined.
I've heard a lot from my friends that they did Erasmus like the second year of university. They already could do it.
I have spent my whole life in Macedonia, so then at one point I decided, okay, I want to see something new. I want to see how other people think and what they're doing, because in Macedonia we do have different cultures, but it's always the same, so to say. And I think in Western Europe, or especially if you think about Germany, you have people from all around the world. So I thought it's a cool opportunity to do something better.
And also my sister did Erasmus and she met her husband actually there. So it encouraged me to do it.
I do study two subjects. The major is Germanistic, Germany, and Xenology, that means Chinese.
I'm studying chemistry in France and I arrived for 2 years now.
I study chemical engineering.
For bachelor I did business administration, then for master I did international economics.
I don't know, I felt good here, so I just thought, yeah, that was nice for an experience and I just feel good, so I decided to stay.
I was supposed to do 1 semester, but then during Erasmus I decided that I will stay and I prolonged it and I stayed for 1 year.
When I decided to do Erasmus, part of my friends told me that this will be the most beautiful experience of your life. And some of them told me that, oh no, why you are doing Erasmus? You will waste your time and you will lose 1 semester, 2 semesters doing partying and not study. But of course, the things are completely different. And now I can say that Erasmus is not just a wasting of time, but something else.
My parents were okay with it. I mean, they were surprised that I made this decision, but yeah, they said, do it, you're young, so why not? And my friends were also good with it.
It was crazy. When I told the people and my friends and my family I want to go to Germany, they couldn't believe it. They were like, are you serious? Are you for real? Like, have you really thought about it? But I think it's part of that surprise is because people are scared because it's something new.
To me that was not a question at all because I just wanted to go abroad. For my parents it was a bit difficult because I was the first one going out, but they all supported me fully and in the end it was the best choice.
I'm from Ukraine, we don't have a lot of opportunities to go abroad. And they were like, yeah, they said it's amazing, just do it. And also like when I went to Taiwan the second time, my mom totally supported. It was actually her idea that I go to Taiwan.
It was really crazy because they actually loved the idea and they were hoping I would make it.
Some of my friends already did an Erasmus before I did, so they were just very happy and they just said, oh cool, we can visit you anytime and we can do something abroad and that will be fine. We will meet so many people, and they were pretty, I think everyone was very happy about this decision.
Yeah, they were like, oh no, you're leaving us the second time already. And I'm like, yeah, but I will come back and we'll still be friends after that, so it's okay.
My family was really happy to. My mother actually always told me, if you have a small opportunity to go away, go. Don't think about it, just go.
I think the most difficult thing is just the first step, when you decide in your head that you want to go. And afterwards, of course, at some point maybe you will be sad and you will feel a bit nostalgic, but I don't think it's any real problem, because if you surround yourself here with friends and everything, you will just enjoy it the whole time. And finding those kind of people is very easy.
Yeah, in the beginning is difficult. I mean, I can say the opposite. It's difficult because it's about your confidence. And when you don't feel sure about something, you are more shy than normal. But this is one thing that I learned in Erasmus, that be open-minded, be extrovert sometimes can help you to break this starting moment where you are shy maybe and you don't know what to say, and go on with a relationship. And I think this is really important when you are in a new country with a new culture. After 6 months, I start to miss a little bit Italy. I said, wow, my friends, my family, everything is far away from here. But then I asked myself, what I have here? And actually after 6 months, I could say that I have here in Erasmus a lot of friends, a lot of new contact, that I can say that I feel a little bit home here. After 6 months, only after 6 months.
Family. Like the only reason I want to go back to Ukraine only to see my family, and only like for a week or so. I don't want to stay there longer, because then it just gets a little bit boring, I should say. Yeah, I want to see my family, and I have one really good friend back in Ukraine who I want to see from time to time, and I miss him actually too.
I mean, I decided to stay here after my Erasmus because I found a job and nothing is missing, aside from my parents and my family, of course. But aside from that, I met great people and great friends, and I would never change it, so I'm happy.
I think I miss good cheese.
I miss the healthy food in Germany, yeah. Taiwan doesn't have healthy food. It was really hard to adapt. Like, yeah, it was not possible. I really missed it.
I would say the most my friends I missed, but actually in Erasmus a lot of things are going on, so you don't think, I mean, of course it's sometimes hard, but you meet so many people, it's so many things, parties, like university, everything, so I think it's really not so difficult.
It was a shock for you? It was a total different world, or it was quite the same? Or
actually, it was somewhat similar and somewhat different. Like in reference to being social, people don't here are really social people here. So it's like you just mind your own business. They are not talking to anyone, or even if you want to talk to, you need to be a good German speaker. Yeah, one of the most specific thing is we are not getting any tea at the shops. If you want to drink like Indian tea, we will just make it here in our apartment, but you won't find it anywhere. So it's just coffee and beer. So that, and one of the most significant difference between India and Germany is like being social. So we are like, and you know, how do we make friends in India? Most of the time so we just share cigarettes, you know, like I am smoking a cigarette, you are smoking a cigarette. That's totally different in India. So it's like we are 3 friends sitting here, so we just smoke from 1 cigarette, and that's how we become a good friend. We share everything, we like to share.
like food,
Yeah.
cigarettes, alcohol.
Yeah, that's the way for us to make friends. People here are really professional about their work. So they're like, just come to office, do your work, and just leave the office, go home. But it's good. But in India, we used to have like lots of social gathering. So like even in our office, after 2 or 3 hours of work, we just go for a tea. Like 5 or 6 people just go together for a tea, then lunch, then again after 2-3 hours tea. So we really missed it here. It's like just come work and be at your room, and that's it. And if you really want to have some fun, just drink some beer and hey, hoo, hoo. That's all. Asim, Asim, थोड़ा chicken चला दे. That's Hindi.
Do you miss your family or your friends?
Yeah. Sometimes. So I got sick. Same problem as Luis. So I really missed my family at that particular time, because I was really alone here. But the good thing with me is my flatmate is here and he's really nice.
Do you know some other people from India?
Yeah, I do know. I know lots of people. Some of them play with me here in the cricket team, and apart from them, I know some people from university. They are also doing PhD and stuff, and some engineers maybe. I know people, but I in starting I had some party or some gathering with them, but slowly it's a really different story.
And did you meet some people who didn't know how to speak English, how to speak German?
Yeah, so I know people from Afghanistan and maybe Pakistan. They don't speak that good English or maybe no English at all, but they really do speak good German, because they are doing some work here for maybe 2 or 3 or 4 years. So I think it's compulsory for them to know German, because that is the only language they can communicate in. Otherwise, after German, they only know Urdu and Pashto. So they had to. But since I had to work in my research is in English, so I go for English and I'm doing fine till date.
Do you have good teachers in India?
That's one of the most difficult question. We have really lots of good teacher and lots of good institute and universities there, and I think lots of foreign students also visit India to do their studies, and mainly about the culture and all that stuff. So we have good teacher and good universities and institutes too.
What do you think you will be in 10 years?
I don't know about how my life will be in 10 years, but I do know that I want to become a professor, and I'm kind of studying for that only, and I hope in next 1 or 2 years I can get a job in India, because that's what I want.
Because you told me last time that you want to go back to India.
Yeah. Lots of Indians are just getting settled here. They are getting permanent residence, but I myself don't want to get settled here. I just want to go to India and be with my family.
And you will not miss Germany, so?
Yeah, I will. Surely I will. I will miss lots of things here. The people from cricket and you guys and all the party stuff.
And the view too.
And this apartment.
Yeah.
And this apartment for sure. But I think it will be okay.
Do you have the feeling that you have changed?
That is also a tough question actually. I can't say myself I have changed. It's on the other person who is looking at me. He can say, hey, you have changed or something like that.
I think the English level is never a problem, because there is no better way to improve your English than living abroad. So yeah, of course it will be a little bit hard the first days or the first weeks, but then it gets better and better, and it's no problem. I think that's never a problem.
Actually, I always studied English in the school, in university, but I never had an experience so deep like this for improve my English, to speak in English with people. So I would say that my English was quite good, but I never had this opportunity to speak so much, and so I can say that I improve a lot actually.
When I arrived here, I could already speak English. My German was not that good at all because I just had some A2 level of knowledge, but I never had the feeling that I have problems with the language, because I think many of the people are super friendly, and there are always people that are better or worse than you, but I think everyone tries to help.
Erasmus helped me a lot. Like, I learned it really fluently. Also there I met a lot of people which I'm still in contact with, so my English stayed the way it is right now.
I think I had a pretty good school level, but then when I arrived I just found out that was not enough. I was like, oh fuck, I'm so bad at English, I'm so bad at German, that's so difficult.
Yeah, also like the pronunciation and stuff, you just learn it by talking. It's something that you cannot practice by yourself, right?
For sure, what improved, it's the speaking with the people, because like a lot of people, we know grammar, we study in school, we hear a lot from the movies, but with speaking I got much better, more fluent.
I've met here people that couldn't speak English at all, but then after a semester I was hearing them like talking with other people, so I think Erasmus is the perfect opportunity to learn some new language.
When you decide to do an Erasmus, I think that the most important thing is to decide to be with people that are not from your country. Of course, in the beginning it's important because you have to, start to meet new people and with friends that can speak your same language, that maybe they come from your same city. It's easier. But that's the point of Erasmus. Go beyond your comfort zone and try to, of course, speak English with people that can speak your language, and meet different people, new situation, new things.
For both my Erasmus, I try to avoid Italian people. In my case, I come from Italy. Because there is the risk, like if you stay only with them, you speak only your own language. You don't learn, not even English, because in the end it's easier. I know that it's more comfortable, but get out of your comfort zone. That's what Erasmus is for. So follow my advice, people.
Actually, when you go as Erasmus, you meet really many people, and most of them speak English, and they communicate in English. So it's really great way to improve the English skills. You just shouldn't be afraid of it.
Just try to speak with people, try to say what you think. Maybe you do mistake, but don't be shy.
Sometimes you take courses that are in the language of the country where you're in. So in Spain I had also Spanish course. Then you learn Spanish in the course, which is a bit harder, but people help you. So it is hard to do it, but it's possible.
The courses in university are in the beginning a little bit weird, because for me, I never took a class in English or in German even. So for me it was a little bit weird. What they are saying, I thought the first week. But then it's something really crazy. Your brain starts to understand more and more, and you feel every day more comfortable with the class, your colleague, the professor, and so on. Of course, you have to study. Erasmus doesn't mean only party and have a good time. It means study hard, try to be always better and better, and this makes, I think, a big difference.
We had English classes because I couldn't speak such fluent German, and I had personally no problems with that. But again, it depends on your level of language. But the professors helps you a lot.
I had some difficulties because they said, okay, some courses are in German, and I knew it before, but still I had this feeling that maybe they will agree to make it in English, or at least some parts. And they were really good with me, and they said, okay, no problem. They did the whole course for me in English.
You have to speak English, you have to meet people who don't speak very good English neither.
But the most important thing is that you have to talk with people from the place. Like, I met Germans and I was talking with Germans.
I think it's really important to stay with the locals, because with Erasmus people, it's amazing, of course. You meet a lot of people from different countries, not only from Europe. And then you can speak English easily, but if you really want to learn a local language, like German, I think you have to stay with Germans. And I think you have to just look. I mean, it's not so difficult to find some Germans that want to spend time with foreign people, with foreign students.
I think to improve the local language, you have to stay with local people also, because with Erasmus you speak most of the time just English, or sometimes you speak also the local language with the others, but that's just, I mean, foreigner level, and then that's not that good for improving your local languages. Yeah.
For learn the local language, I think you have always to stay with local people, because I mean, you can learn a language in general, learning from the books and lesson, and now there are a lot of applications like Duolingo that can give you a lot, but speaking with people, it's completely different, makes completely another point of view of the things. And for example, in my case, I tried to learn German. I learned German before Erasmus, but when I came here, I met German people. I had a really strong relation with two German girls, and they give me a lot of opportunity to improve my German. Actually, I am really thanks to them, because they give me a lot.
At the beginning it's really hard, because also the language that we hear in school and we learn in school is completely different from what we hear now. So of course at the beginning it was a little bit difficult also to crush this barrier in German, for sure, with the mother languages. Yeah. Yeah. But with like a little bit courage, you can easily start to speak. You just have to be. You don't have to be afraid of your mistakes. You just have to talk.
In Spain, I stayed partly with international students and partly with local students, because I want to be involved in both sides. Both is super fun. Obviously, international communities, they're closer to your desires, because you want to party, you want to experience new places. The locals are having just a normal life there, right? So they are not into that life. But it's great to experience both sides, because you are in Spain or in another country, and you want to know what the Spanish people are actually about. So you want to get to know the culture, really. So I was just involved in both groups.
I met a lot of Erasmus students, but then I met also local people, German one, and now I have friends from Erasmus and from people living here for studies or just living here for a job.
When you go for Erasmus, I think, from my experience, I think it's better to stay with people from another countries in order to speak languages, to like meet new cultures.
For the apartment is quite easy if you're an Erasmus student, like super easy, because Würzburg, all the students that come here have help from the university, so you automatically get an apartment. So for me that was the least worry I had. So apartment question was out from the very beginning.
Like both time it was super easy because the university gave us options.
That was everything already organized, and yeah, that was pretty okay. I found that was okay, not complicated.
And they just give you like a deadline which you have to apply for. They give you like different options and you just have to do that. For me it was super easy.
They had like offers for students, so you could just, you know, pick some apartments and they will try to give you one of the apartments that you chose. It was like from the students' organization. They try to make it as easy as possible for you.
We received some emails, so I think when you have to just match the deadline, because some of them just didn't got this deadline, and that's why they didn't get the dormitory. But actually, if you you match the deadline, I think it's quite easy.
I know that someone had issues, but because, for example, they applied too late for it, so that's their own fault. If you follow the rules, it's really easy, and the university helps you a lot.
About the money, I think that people should not be scared at all, because I don't know, if you need some money from the start, you can always work at your country for 2-3 months in the summer, save something.
I was working for my mom, but most of the scholarship comes from the university, because there's a fixed part of it that comes from the European Union, and then the rest depends on your university. For example, I had a good one with the University of Verona.
I had problems, I had financial problems, but with the time I just found a job, I just found a way to make my life stable here, to get into the routine, and then with time all the problems just vanished by itself.
When I came in Erasmus, my goal was to find a job.
I got the Erasmus scholarship, and we get first the 50% of the total amount. That was okay. I mean, that was not that much money, but to live here, that was okay. But that was cool. Was the 30% left at the end. That's like a big gift.
Pretty much all the Erasmus students I've met, they already had financial abilities to provide themselves actually in Germany. In my case it was a little bit different, but I should say, like, I believe there is opportunity to get money in every country. You just need to be able to look for it. You just need to will it by yourself.
After 2 weeks I get a job in a cafe. Of course I didn't speak really well German in this moment, but they give me a lot of trust.
I mean, the apartment in where I live, that's a student apartment, and that's 250 euros.
I think that working in a different country, in cafe or restaurant, is a way to learn about the culture of this country.
Okay, the university helps you a lot, but if you really have no money, maybe work a little bit before, save a little bit of money, because it's totally worth it. And being a student, for example, in Germany, it's really cheap, so everyone can afford that. But yeah, you have to think about it, but it's worth it, absolutely.
Ask the uni if they can support you, because there are so many opportunities for scholarships that unis offer, but students just don't know about them because no one they don't text it anywhere, or they put this information anywhere, so it's really hard to find it. So asking the uni, it's very helpful. Applying for scholarships, there's a bigger possibility that they actually give you a scholarship than you might think. Also, there are different scholarships besides the uni scholarships, so I would just try in this area definitely. Also working before that, or in the country, it's also possible.
From my university I got 400 euros per month, and actually I don't really know how much exactly I had, but I mean it was enough for 6 months maybe, and then I had to think about something else or ask my parents. So yeah, but I think it's really, I mean, if you don't have, you can easily find a job.
I would just tell them not to worry about anything. I think it's like a flow. The moment you decide to go, everything else will take care of itself. It's the best experience. If someone is doubting if you should do it, definitely yes. And question, I don't know, if you have problems about your language skills and everything, it's not a problem at all. Money, language, you will take care of everything. Erasmus is a perfect experience, and any difficulty is worth it.
When is the shortage for Würzburg International Network? It's the name, we are Erasmus organization like others, for example. It's very common ESN, but it's a big network in whole Europe, Erasmus Students Network. But we are totally free, we are just a part of the university, like other kind of clubs in university. But our goal, our target is integrating international students from university and from the city in Würzburg, showing them our culture, and also to connect people. Erasmus is connection. We are Erasmus organization. We do connection.
Maybe at the same time, because you want to continue your Erasmus.
Yes, of
kind
course.
of.
Yes, that's what I said. I became part of WIN because I want to have some part of Erasmus here at home, and it's always fun. We do what we practically do, we do a lot of events, like
what?
trips
Yeah.
to some cities, daily trips to show them the city.
Germany or sometimes abroad?
Normally only Germany, also because it's too far away. We are quite in the middle of Germany, and also we want to show Germany, not Czech Republic and so on. You could go Erasmus Prague. Anyway, and then we sometimes do weekend trips and also some cultural stuff like beer tasting, German cooking and so on, and and a lot of party and drinking and having fun. Yeah, that's the thing.
Is it really hard, really complicated to come back at home after an Erasmus?
Yeah, it can be strange and a very bad feeling, like feeling as a stranger at home, like you was always all common and at home, and then you are back as another people, but the people didn't change, the city didn't change. Yeah, that's also like what I will write in my book. Yeah, I'm writing a book about Erasmus students, and he's uncomfortable at home, and then he doesn't want to come back. That's what I also found for some people. For me it was not so, because I like my city and was a lot of things going on after coming back, but I know some good friends, they said I had almost depression because I didn't want to go from the Erasmus place. But life needs to go on, so it also needs to go on.
But we have the feeling that we are leaving our new friends, but you can still keep in touch with them.
And especially like Erasmus is a moment, like one Erasmus, can do stuff like me or do another Erasmus or traveling, but you cannot return this feeling, like, because your friends, they're all leaving and so on, and that's why it makes it special. If you know, okay, we are here for 5 years or maybe forever, all of us, like, we would not have such a great party for half a year.
And do you have some solutions to avoid depression?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Join Erasmus organizations, really, and help other Erasmus people to feel at home in your town, show them your culture and so on. And and just keep the memories in your mind, stay in contact with your Erasmus friends, make a lot of photos from there and so on, and just take the good things of your Erasmus. And remember, like we said, like, you will come back as another one, as another person, and this will be a beautiful situation at home as well.
And do you have some friends that you have no news anymore because they are too far away from Germany?
Well, yes, of course. That's normal, like, you cannot stay in contact with all friends. You just lose contacts, but for me a bit hard, because I'm not so much in social media, but some good friends since and ever we have contact, like from Salamanca. It's already 5 years ago, almost 4.5. My best friend from Salamanca, well, he's from Bremen, but also far away, still Germany, far away. We still have contact, like yesterday I was calling him, we've been talking 1 hour, 20 minutes, and it was so much to talk and so on, and we will make vacations again.
As you can see, we are coming back in our Erasmus city to meet again our very close friends as you. And did you return in your Erasmus cities?
Yes, unfortunately I didn't manage to come back to Salamanca, also because of COVID stuff and so on. But only 2 months after my Erasmus in Bologna, I returned. It was also practical because I needed to repeat an exam. So people, don't worry, it's possible to do anything. I enlarged my Erasmus because I failed an exam. I was just there for the exam, and officially I was 2 months more Erasmus student. So I was there again with the friends who stayed there, and the friends from Erasmus organization with Erasmus trip was so great. And in 2 weeks I will also return. Like, first visit a friend in Verona who makes Erasmus there, and then I will return to Bologna for 1 week.
It's a good feeling, right?
Yeah, it's great. It's amazing.
Of course, I think that Erasmus changed myself, changed how I approach of life in general, because Erasmus means be open to new culture, to new things.
Leaving your house, living somewhere abroad, teaches you a lot of things. You have to take care of yourself, and now I feel much more confident. Like even when I travel now to different countries, I'm not scared if I will get lost or anything, because I don't know, I think you get this confidence when you're abroad.
Erasmus teaches you a lot about yourself and about other cultures. So it teaches you really how to relate with the others, how to, I don't know, just to communicate with other countries, and it opens up your mind.
I think I've changed after Erasmus because I had this bigger view now, because I met a lot of people from different countries, and I realized that even if we are not from the same country, we are outside of Europe also, we are actually the same. We have the same problems, the same difficulties, we listen to the same music, the same interests. So I guess this made me feel like, wow, we are all the same actually, and it's possible to have friends from all around the world.
It definitely changed my perspective on the whole world, because it just opened my eyes, and I just understood how many people from all over the world can actually have fun together, can interact and communicate despite of the so many differences in the culture, in the countries, in languages.
I think I'm not especially a better person now, but I feel more confident and I feel more experienced also, and I feel like I can do anything I want because I know how to get along with things, to get along with new people, to get along with other cultures. And I think by meeting so many different people, you know how to behave and you know how to take stuff not so seriously, but to respect the other.
Like it made me more open, and more open towards other people, cultures, also to understand why we have these differences and what advantages some countries have with their mentality and what disadvantages it also brings to the mentalities as well. So like for example in Corona times, you see Taiwan was just managed the Corona situation incredibly great, and Europe not very much. And it's also because of the differences in mentality, because in Taiwan they, for example, look at what's best for everyone, while in Europe you have this individualistic culture, right? So it has advantages and disadvantages, and you just get more open to this and understand more.
I got to know a lot of new cultures, and my mind and the opinion about some things changed also when I heard different stories of the people that I met. So yeah, I for sure I would say it's a big experience for my personality.
Erasmus is all an experience.
It's a lot of student life, it's a lot of parties, meeting new people, drinking.
The thing is that there are so many, like especially having done 2 Erasmus, there are way too many to remember. Like I have so many crazy stories and funny nights, like I couldn't even count them. I should stay there and really think about them.
Okay, that's kind of a long story. Before we went to Regensburg, I had like practice, and we had a party right before the day when we went there. In the end of the day trip, we went to a beer garden where everybody ordered beer and stuff, but I was exhausted. I was really exhausted. And I got drunk only from 1 beer and from Radler, because I ordered Radler after that. And everybody started laughing at me and started actually making fun just because I got drunk that fast, although I come from Eastern Europe, so I'm not like making this cliche of the Ukrainian guy.
Where we went hiking. It was with my course, with my class. We had like 1 weekend of hiking. It was kind of horrible if I explain you how it was. It was like we got up at 5 a.m. to go hiking, and it sounds first like horrible, and yeah, the time to wake up was horrible, but it was so beautiful, like the nature, and we also got to know some Aborigines, like Aboriginal people, and it was great, like to get to know these differences and this, indigenous people that we met there. It was a great experience.
During my Erasmus, The Corona time started. So I think the important thing for me, and also the hard, but also the important thing, was that I stayed here in Würzburg for this crazy time. And I was with a few of my friends. We were almost only us in the dormitory, so we spent the whole time together. We got really close. So I think this is a few months that we just got closer in this difficult time.
I think it's one of the best things that I have done in my life, and only good memories.
I mean, Erasmus is all an experience. I mean, I would say that everything that you do, it's completely different than what you did in your country with your friends and so on.
Everything is very intense, to meet people, to discover a new city, to discover a new culture. Everything is just very intense, I find.
If you really want to meet people, you always will meet people. Especially in the beginning, everyone's just so open. It's just not possible to not meet people. Like, you will always see someone that you think is nice or who's interesting enough, and they also will approach you.
In Erasmus, you make a lot of new friends, so they become your friends in this moment right now, and could be that some of them stay for a longer time than your friends from university back in your country or something like this.
I wasn't even looking for anybody, and it just happened by accident that I met really many great people. I guess if a person going as an Erasmus student, so it happens by itself that they actually communicate, they meet up with new people, and this is just how it happens.
It depends on what country you go, but there is always a community, and they are always together, and yeah, I would say it is kind of like this. Yeah, everyone is there for each other, and everyone knows each other. And
the second day we had a visit of a building here in the city, and I was like, okay, just maybe we're 50 or 60 people of Erasmus just arrived, and we just met each other, and that was pretty nice. And then we went in a pub and we had coffee, and that was just meeting very easily new people.
Erasmus gives me the possibility to understand how different we are, but in the same time how easy it is sometimes to find a way to communicate with each other, to understand each other, to just enjoy together. And this is something that it's really nice.
I did exactly the same. I did it twice, and both of the times it's your best choice because no one knows you and you can be whoever you want, meaning that you can also discover yourself somehow.
Of course, not everyone that you meet is your best friend in the end. With some people you're just an acquaintance, with someone you're very close. But here I have found really close friends. Like for one of them I was even witness at her wedding.
When you start to have this group in Erasmus, you feel really like home.
As I said, there are a couple of them, actually too many to call them one by one right now, but I can definitely say yes.
I think my best friend from here, she is from Turkey, and she went back to Turkey now. But she was like, I found it amazing how we are coming from two different countries, but we can communicate so good with each other, and we understood us so good. That was very amazing.
I never experienced something like so deep, like in Erasmus. This strong relations with people.
I just have other friends from Netherlands, for example, or from Spain also, or Italy, and we still keep in touch. And I will go there, in the summer. I will go to Spain, for example, and visit some friends, or to the Netherlands, obviously. Yeah.
I think falling in love in Erasmus is quite important, because when you are leaving this really strong emotion around you, of course, when you don't have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, of course, but when you are in this situation, it's easy to get that you can do whatever you want. And of course, relationships are the most beautiful things that can happen between people. So if happen, this means that you are in a really good point to enjoy your life and make sure that everything around you is going really well.
I've heard a lot of stories from the people that they met in Erasmus and they stay together still now.
It's possible, yes, definitely. It's definitely possible, and it happens to a lot of people doing Erasmus actually.
We had like in Taiwan a lot of couples, even more than in Spain. Many people after that break up because Erasmus, you're a different person. You're positive. You don't have a lot to worry, right? Because you're in a different country. You have mostly like vacation time. You travel. It's a different self that you are in this other person as well. So it's more likely to fall in love with the positive sides of the other person. And then like when you come back to your countries, you see, oh no, stress starts, normal life starts, and then many people break up. So it is kind of like a magical thing to fall in love in Erasmus. It's really hard to still keep it going after you are back in your countries, right?
They are from different countries and they just met here and they fall in love and they are still together right now. And they plan to live in another country.
And I met my girlfriend, and actually for us was really weird because she's come from Poland, I come from Italy, and in the beginning we spoke English, and then we start to speak German because both we want to improve our German. And of course it's not easy because when I think that this experience will finish, you have to come back in your country and then you have to find a solution if you want to stay together. It's not easy, but in the same time I think that what this relation can give us and gave to us until today, it's something extraordinary because we mix completely two different cultures and we learn a lot from us. And I mean, was in few words just amazing.
I'm this example. I met my boyfriend in Erasmus, and yeah, also a lot of my friends they met someone, and the funny thing and beautiful thing is that they are not from the same country. They are from different countries, and still they are together. They go to the countries that they live in, so they still keep in touch and it's working.
I mean, if people are in love and then they already went abroad, they already know how to live in a foreign country, so it's not so complicated, they just have to continue living abroad.
I'm still alive with my boyfriend after a year, so it's fine. And also I have a friend, she's from Netherlands and she has a boyfriend from Finland. So they are also still together since a year. And also another couple, so I know actually a lot of people that met there, and yeah, I'm very happy. It's going apparently very well.
During Erasmus, it's like a bubble. You live in a bubble, kind of, and everything is beautiful. And then when Erasmus finished, you could have some problems, and also it depends just if the relationship is really strong. I think it could survive, and maybe after one of the partners will finish the studies, they could live together in one country. I think it's just the way, the compromise, and of course it's a little bit difficult also because of the language, but I guess if it's a true love, it will stay.
I think that Erasmus is one of the most incredible experience that we have, like a new generation to make a new European Union. And if we think just for a second about what is happening in Europe, that it's so difficult for European Union to let them all together. Just think about Brexit. I mean, how we can imagine our future without them, without traveling, without border and so on. Erasmus is to understand that we are a lot, we are different, but we can live together. And this is, I think, really important for everyone.